Going live in 3, 2, 1, live. Hey guys, welcome back to Scooter Operations of Phoenix. I'm your host Chris. This is the virtual e-scooter repair shop and scooter ops repair school. My name is Chris and I've been functioning a e-scooter repair business in Phoenix for about 3 years. And now we are creating this virtual opportunity, thanks to Skool, to create a catalog and how-to series on how to fix a scooter. So, what happens when your scooter breaks, right? So typically, you're already at the end of the road. Let's restart. Let's say your bicycle breaks, right? What do you do when your bicycle breaks? Well, your wheel breaks or your brake breaks, and you take it to your garage. You take it back to your home because you're out riding and then it breaks. You take it back to your home, you go in your garage, and you try to fix it yourself, right? You take a wrench or you take a screwdriver and you try to fix the issue yourself. And then if the problem cannot be solved, you take it to a bike shop, right? Now let's retrack and say your e-scooter breaks. Well, you take it home. You're already typically at the end of the line. You can't take a wrench to your e-scooter. You can't take a screwdriver to it. And also, there are no e-scooter shops to fix your scooter. So where do you go? What do you do? That's what this series is aiming to fix and be aware of and shine light on. And we're trying to create a community around fixing specifically stand-up e-scooters and solving not only a couple of the problems, but all of the problems. We want to attack all of the issues surrounding e-scooter repair and e-scooter functionality. So today we are fixing a rear wheel on a HiBoy X300. And once again, we have a live Q&A on Twitch. So if you have any questions, you can go there and ask me anything you want. And again, thanks to Skool, we are able to create this virtual e-scooter repair shop. You can visit us at scooterops.com or our skool.com/scooteroperations. In time, we want to show how to fix every and all e-scooter models, or you can typically or practically you will find a similar model to yours, be able to watch these videos and deduce how to fix it yourself with the hand tools that I show on camera, how to use and whatnot. So without further ado, are there any questions in the chat? Before we get the toolbox out, I just want to ask if there's any questions. Anybody out there in the chat? How are we doing today, guys? Oh, and look who it is. It's Fumbler. Hey, Fumbler. And he's got that question for us again. What a guy. Hey, Chris, what model scooter are you working on today, dog? Well, great question, Fumbler. We are working on the Where is it? Model. Brand and model. Today we are working on a HiBoy X300 rear flat. So from my understanding, this is the non-motor wheel, so we'll be able to remove this wheel completely from the scooter and work on it ourselves, or separate from the entity. So in last video, it was the motor wheel, so we had to work within the slack of the motor wheel. Today we are working on a non-motor wheel, from what I can see, And again, a little housekeeping here. This is a very big scooter. This is one of the biggest low-end model scooters I've seen. So, and in terms of price, I am differentiating high-end model scooters over $1,000 and low-end model scooters under $1,000. So that's the threshold. So this is in other words, this is the biggest under $1,000 model scooter that I've ever worked on. It has 12-inch by 2¼ inch tires, and the inner tube, I haven't pulled it out yet, of course, but it looks like a 12 by 2½ inch inner tube. So, without further ado, let's pull out the toolbox and get to work. And thanks for joining me, and don't forget to check out our Skool page. Oh, and so as you begin, grab yourself a tin cup, and once again, everything you pull off the scooter goes into the tin cup so you don't lose any screws. Okay, let's clear the keyboard and the mouse. Alright guys, so let's go to scene. Okay, so when you are trying to remove your scooter, the first thing you want to do is look for stickers and grommets. So stickers, everybody knows what a sticker is, but a grommet, Grommet, or there might be 2 T's, are little rubber or plastic filaments that cover screw holes. So on this model, I see 2 grommets, and there may be 2 on the reverse side. And once again, this is a very large scooter, but I'm going to do my best to show in raw footage how to fix this thing from start to finish. Again, it's a flat tire on the rear, and client wants their flat tire repaired. So first things, grommet removal. How do you remove grommets? You can do it with a sharp tool, a knife, or needle nose pliers. So I'm going to grab my knife, needle nose pliers, and a thin tool like a screwdriver or a T-head Phillips wrench. Okay, let's go to the toolbox. So I have a knife. I have my needle nose, small needle nose pliers. I also have large ones. And you want a long, thin screwdriver. Okay, so let's get to work here. Intro is over. Now the man can do his job. All right. So these grommets are about a centimeter in diameter, and I'm just poking them. You have to damage them, but you want to damage them as little as possible. These ones on this model are actually a decent size, but I just grabbed it with my needle nose into the tin. Okay, there's 2 on this side. Those grommets are covering screw holes. So I'm just digging in and trying to pull that out. It's a rubber entity, so it's bouncy. And now I can see inside, here's your charge port. I have a Phillips head and a Phillips head. So I'm going to grab my Phillips screwdriver. Now visually you can inspect it and you can see on this model there's a what were we calling these? Fenders. There's a plastic fender from about here to here, and those 2 screws are holding that on. So we're gonna dig right in and try to get those screws out. And my screwdriver is not biting on them. Oh, this one is. Is it? Doesn't want to bite. It is biting, okay. So I describe it as biting. It's when the screwdriver is working. It's the point at which the screwdriver fits into the screw head. If your screwdriver is not biting, then you might have a strip screw or something else. These screws are very weak in here, and I can barely tell if it's biting or not. There we go. Okay. And voila, already off with the bracket. Don't lose your screws, okay? So your charge port is hanging this bracket off this way. Want to get that up and out of your way. And now you can visually analyze what's going on here. So this scooter has, it has this piece of metal here holding the wheel on. It's an interesting design, but we have our lug nut. We have two Allen screws holding the brake on, and yeah, we can just keep moving forward here. Let's add a little bit more light if we can. Right, so let's look at the other side quickly. Again, this scooter is very large, very heavy, not the most fun. Looks like on the other side we have two more grommets to deal with. I want to get everything on camera here. This is a big boy. It's a HiBoy, but it should be called a big boy. Okay, are these on? Yes, okay. So we have two grommets here. Too much light. Okay. Gonna grab that one. Needle nose grabbing the grommets. Okay. Now working this side, the two Phillips heads. And screwdriver biting quite easily on this side. Okay. Are we off? The weight weight of the scooter is holding this down. So one thing that I like in my toolbox are for fixing these scooters is cork yoga blocks, believe it or not. These are excellent for fixing these things. So I'm just going to lift up the rear and hopefully get it up off the table. Okay, so now this should pop off. Oh, this screw is still in. There we go. Don't lose your screws. As soon as they fall to the floor, grab them, put them in the tin. Okay? So we have two fenders here. This one and this one's dangling by the charge port. Okay. Oh, so this is a motor wheel, but with this model, our motor is easily removable here. So we're just going to remove the quick release cable there. There's your motor cable, similar to GoTrax. We have a cable tie here. We're going to snip that off. Our cable snippers. Don't damage any motor wire. Remove that cable tie. You can throw that in your tin. There's a little notch here holding the motor cable. So now we have the two lug nuts. Yoga block is holding us up quite nicely. This is a very large scooter. It weighs about 65, 70 pounds. We're going to remove these lug nuts with our wrench. First we try the adjustable wrench. And that's good. Both of the lug nuts came off pretty simply. Unwrench that lug nut. Some interference there. None the matter, we can finagle it. The rest with our fingers. This wheel is all but off already. Don't lose your, this is a lawyer's lips washer. They don't sell these at the hardware store. When you take these off of a scooter, make sure you keep them. Other side lug nut. Other side lawyer lip. Holding the scooter on, and this wheel is already off, baby. See that? Don't lose your washers. Okay. Look at that. Now we can take this wheel off and work on it. Okay, we can put the scooter on the shelf now and just work on the wheel, which is very nice. So let's refresh our table. Alright, moving right along. So it looks like an angled valve stem. Am I showing that? Angled valve stem. And yeah, so at this point, let's grab our tire spoons and get this wheel off. We're getting the the tire off the rim now. Tire spoons, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Time to get to work here. So usually the bigger the tire, the easier it is to remove. Okay. First things first, take off the valve stem cap. Doesn't want to come off. There we go. Into the tin. Your tires. Okay, so tire spoon 1, tire spoon 2 right next to it. Breaking the bead. Take your third, put it next to the second one, dig it in. Now you take the middle one, okay, middle one shuffles over. And dig it in here. And we're getting both sides of the tire, but that's okay. I'm trying to get it off the rim. It's nice to not, it's nice for the tire to be up and away from the scooter as you do this. Just about broken the bead here. Middle one shuffles over. And there it is, broken. Okay? So now the tire is halfway off the rim. And we're going to try to get it up over the other half. So this takes muscle and practice, but you will get better at doing this sort of stuff. You just pry it away, and now the tire is separated from the rim. Just a quick visual inspection. We're looking at the disc brake. Is it straight? Is there any damage? I don't see anything. This looks like a nice intact motor wheel for the HiBoy X300. Okay? You can put that on your shelf. Okay? Let's pull out the old tube. Okay, and we're gonna keep that because we want to see what size it is, right? Actually feels like it's still holding air. It's odd. I think there was a leak in the near the valve stem. That's interesting. We're gonna replace it anyway, but because I filled it and then it wasn't holding at full, right? So you can have a tube that might be holding some residual air, but at full pressure it's not holding. So that's why that's another reason why I don't patch any of these things. I don't see the point. Why would you remove a tube and take out all that work? So all that work we did to put in a patch tube. Why not just put in a new tube? It's virtually the same price. And the only problem is getting the tube. But if you have tubes, put in a new one. Don't patch it. Just put in a new one. This is going in the recycle bin, okay? But we're going to read the numbers on here. 12 by 1.5 to 2.23. Specialized. Made in China. Thin. Okay, we're going to pull out our tubes box and see if we have a matching one. We're also going to inspect the tire for staples, nails, screws, any damage. Okay, so let's quickly do that. I don't see anything. I don't feel anything. There's no debris in this one. So this is kind of like a lower pressure tire, seems. Yeah. So back to the inner tube. We're going to try to match that. And at this point, we are halfway done the flat tire service. So you can definitely take a break here and put the scooter on the shelf and come back and do the other half. This tube says 12.5 by 2 3/4. I'm going to try to alleviate all the air in here, and so that way I can get the best match. It's holding air. It's frustrating. Squeeze all the air out. Every scooter is different, right? So every scooter tells its own story in the repair. So all these videos are going to look a little different, but all the information will be there. So there's your tube. This is going into the recycle bin after we inspect it and try to get a match. This tube looks a little bit bigger. We're trying to find a match in my inventory. I don't know if I have a specific match. We're going to try this one that I pulled out. These are all my junk tubes. This one's huge. I don't want to spend too much time on this. We're almost at the end of the box here. These are way too big. It looks like we have this one angled valve stem, but it looks a little thick. We could try it. Let's try it. We're here. Why not try it? Put your new tube in. Okay. If this tube doesn't fit, I'll cut the video at halftime and show the next half later. Those will be my only edits at the half point, and if the tube is incorrect. Okay, we're gonna put the tube in the tire. Always do that first. The rim's coming back on. Okay. Look for your indenture. So even though the scooter looks intimidating, this one's actually quite simple. You know, I haven't even used any of my special tools yet, or even an Allen wrench. Just an adjustable wrench and a Phillips head. Anyway, this is going back in. Screw your valve stem cap on, and just the motor wire is being evasive here. We're going to make sure that's through and at the bottom. And now we're fingering the tube back into the tire. Okay. Not entirely certain, but this looks like it could function. This size tube that we have in stock. Okay. Pick up the whole assembly and put it on my cork block. These things are dirty, but so now the fun part. We are putting the tire back on the rim. So you're just going to start working it. Just try to get it started. It's very messy back here. Just try to get it started. Shouldn't be too bad. Get it up over the half. Beat the half, as I say. Any questions out there in the chat? Not yet. Okay. Come on now. I need 2 tire spoons for this one. This wheel is kind of soft. Alright, are we halfway on? Looks like it. Okay. So it looks ugly, but that tire spoon was helping us. So just gonna get that out of here now. It's really in there. Okay. So we're halfway on the rim. Let's get it up and over on the back side. Gonna beat the other half. I don't even think we need vice grips for this. Just tire spoons. Okay, I'm pressing with my thumbs to get this over the rim, all the way around. About 90%, 70% there. It's just kind of sticking on. Come on out. Come on. There we go. We're on 100% tire tension. That wasn't bad at all, guys. That wasn't bad at all. Okay, now we can already blow this thing up. Grab your 120 volt Husky inflator is what I recommend. Available at your local Home Depot. It's Saturday, guys. You got to go to Home Depot. You got to get your 120 volt inflator with gauge. Okay. Plug that shit into the wall. Okay. Now, inspect your tire. What does it say? 35 to 65 psi. Wow. When you put tubes on, make sure the valve stem won't interfere with the spinature of your wheel. These are big wheels, and there's no interference on this model, but yeah, just something to note there. In future videos, I will explain that better. So we're just going to grab our needle nose pliers so we can grab hold of this valve stem here. Okay. Put that on. Okay. And now we're going to blow this baby up. So put in about 10 psi. So it shapes itself around and the molecules stabilize. It looks like this is not going on uniformly. So we're going to take some air out. Going to massage it. We don't want our work to be ruined. Okay, I'm going to try again. So we don't know for certain that this is the right tube size, but we're trying it. And the process is there. So let's get it to 35. It's taking a minute to stabilize, actually more. I don't think this will work. It's kind of bulging out here. You can see it. I'm gonna have to buy a different tube for this son of a gun. Unfortunately. Get in there. Try it one more time. At this point, we're going to leave this on the shelf and see if the air stabilizes around the rim. And in the meantime, we're going to order the proper tube, and we will show the next half in the next half. But yeah, this was actually a pretty simple fix here, guys. So check out our Skool page and check out our Skool community. And again, this is Chris with Scooter Ops Repairs, and unfortunately I have to cut the video before the product is totally finished, but I will show the proper tube being installed when I get the inventory. Okay guys, that's it for today. This scooter is going on shelf because there's nothing more we can do. And until then, we will see you next time. Happy Saturday, and we will catch you on the flip. See you guys.